Then please. The recent decision by our government to invite the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, to come to St. Vincent and the Grenadines and implement a structural adjustment program continues to draw mixed reaction. I'm going to ignore the flowery description of the Prime Minister suggesting that it's a homegrown program because it's really tomato tomato. What is happening is that the IMF has suggested policies and the government has agreed to implement them. And those policies are going to create real hardship and problems and pain for ordinary working Vincentians. They made many promises during the elections, promising to make their lives better. But already, we are seeing that is not going to happen. They can't reduce VAT based on what the IMF said. There'll be no CBI, so there'll be no bonuses. There won't be any jobs because they're told to cut the wage bill. As a matter of fact, don't be surprised if they're forced to reduce the labor force by firing people. And many of those other things that come with structural adjustment programs. Now, the IMF agreed that St. Vincent and the Grenadines has shown resilience in the face of shocks, and that is under the previous administration. We know what the shocks were: the volcanic eruption, COVID, the Ukraine war, beryl, and so forth. And with that, St. Vincent and the Grenadines' economy, according to the IMF, had been at risk of high debt distress since 2016. With all of that happening, and with all of these shocks, the government managed well, never defaulting on any loan payment, never defaulting on paying salaries, making sure that our citizens have access to social services, healthcare, education, for example, even giving over 2,500 students tuition assistance last September 2025. So there was a proper management of the economy. And for context, there are other countries in the region that are at risk of high debt distress or even in debt distress. And recently, none of those have gone to the IMF. But guess who have? We have. Just 5 months. In 5 months, after giving a VAT-free day, after giving away $22 million in bonuses, our government has gone to the IMF, begging them to help them to manage the missing earnings. To me, the issue is management. One government, the previous, showed they can manage an open, vulnerable economy with all of the shocks that are happening and still take care of its citizens. The other started with a bang, but running to the IMF, begging them to help them to manage. Now, you can scream all you want about what the previous government did or didn't do, but the statistics are there and the facts are there. The ULP managed well, the NDP having problem managing. So to the IMF, we come. Until next time, class dismissed.